hard to do.
All right, welcome everybody. We are This Fan's View. That's okay. You guys didn't come here to see us, so I get it. It's all right. But anyway, I'm going to hand the mic over to Larry. Our guest this evening is Larry Bowe, very good friends with Charlie Manuel. And he's going to say a few words about Charlie and where he's at right now today. So if I could get everyone's attention, please.
All right, first of all, I want to welcome everyone here today, and I know we have a lot of Charlie fans here. I talked to Charlie today, and he's doing really good. He's going to start his rehab in the next day or two, and that's going to last, Missy was telling me, between 10 days and 2 weeks, and then the rest of it will be when he's out of his house. So, but between today and 3 days ago when I talked to, when I heard about his condition, it's night and day. He's really, really doing well. He's looking forward to getting out of the hospital and starting rehab. And, you know, people say you have trouble speaking and everything. I talked to him today, and I understood everything he said. And so the arrow's pointing up, and I told him to get here for the playoffs, and he said he will. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Charlie, we love you.
Yep.
I don't think there's a person in Philadelphia that doesn't have a Charlie story. So we'll get to a few of those here in the next hour. But again, we're This Fan's View. We've been doing this now. It's coming up on 5 years. So we're looking forward to tonight. Larry's a great guest. He's got an awesome amount of baseball stories, so we're going to try to pull a few out of them, good or bad. Stories seem to leak out that we never heard before, but we're going to get to it. Again, I want to thank Jimmy Clark for opening up his pub. Allowing us this opportunity once a month. And by the way, you might want to jot down October 18th. It's our 5-year anniversary party here. So we're doing a takeover. So let Jimmy Clark know now that we're taking the bar over. So again, the raffle prizes, all the money tonight is going back to the University of Pennsylvania stroke wing there. We recently did a golf outing with Brian Propp. I'm sure many of you know Brian and his stroke situation. I was just explaining a lot of it to Larry and going over some of those details, and you know, it's no joke. So Charlie, we love you. We're there for you, and you know, come on up here and fill out those get well cards. Sue has them right here. Put your hand up, Sue. There you go. She's hiding behind the speaker. So come on over, put a little message on the cards. There's a couple of them, and we're going to get them to Charlie this weekend when he gets home. So, or 2 weeks.
All right.
But anyway, I'm going to throw it over to John now and get this party started.
This is your time of year, right? Getting ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a fun time now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tight race. Obviously, I'm pretty confident we're the 1 seed, and
Right.
but the other couple seeds are going to go down to the wire, and all these teams are fighting for their playoff lives right now.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting the last 10 days here.
Who do you think they slide into?
If I had to guess right now, I'd have to say the Cubs in Arizona.
Okay.
I think the Giants are leaking a little oil right now, but I think the Cubs, Arizona, and the Phillies.
Yeah, there you go. I agree. Yeah, this is definitely the time things start getting a little bit amped up and get a little more. More excited about getting to the ballpark.
When you come to the ballpark, obviously, if you're not in the playoffs, you're tired.
Right.
You're ready for the golf game. You're ready to go on vacation. But when you're in these races like they are, the energy that the fans bring to the ballpark it takes it to another level. And as we well know here in Philly, the energy level goes way up
Oh, yeah.
when Red October starts, so we're looking forward to that.
Now, with the new playoffs schedule, I guess you can call it, how do you think it affects like the Braves, or like the top teams that has to buy and have to wait?
You know, I'm a believer that when you take 6, 7 days off, I think that hurts you.
Right.
I really do. I think that, especially when you're playing meaningful games, I mean, they clinched, what, a week ago?
Right.
Close.
Yeah.
So these games they're playing now, they're really not important to them. And it's hard to turn that switch on and off. So, I mean, the rest is good for your pitchers, but for the everyday players, they don't like to sit out that long, especially this time of year.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of time,
Good question.
and you're playing against top pitchers.
Yep, you can take
Everywhere you're going to go, so you have a little bit of time, and I think it's a detriment, for the teams that have, like last year with the Phillies, they stuck in on the last wild card spot and were hot going in, and
Yeah, and it's not who the best team is anymore. It's who's playing the best. And last year, everybody saw how we were playing at the end. I don't think anybody wanted to play us.
they don't want to play us this year either.
It's a tough lineup to get through right now. The Braves are going to be good, and the two teams that I mentioned, the Cubs and Arizona, they could be tough.
Handful,
You know? I think the biggest advantage we have is the first round's going to be all here at Citizens Bank, and with the crowd and the way we've been playing at home, that's a big advantage for us.
Absolutely, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And then, how do you feel like the Phillies are built for the playoffs more so than maybe the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see us get a little more consistent. Like right now, our bullpen,
Right.
there's games where you go out and you say nobody can hit us, and then there's other games you scratch your head. I don't think anybody wants to face Wheeler in game one. Wheeler's one of the elite pitchers. Nola threw good today. Ranger looks like he's starting to come around. So as far as three pitchers, we're in pretty good shape. You know, I look at Atlanta. Strider's really tough.
Yeah.
Freed's good. I'll take our chance. We can slug with them. There's no question.
And then you get
I think the one thing the Braves don't make a lot of physical mistakes.
No.
They're a pretty good fielding team. They don't beat themselves. We got to stay away from that. The last 2 or 3 weeks we've been playing pretty good. We've really been swinging the bats good. So hopefully that continues. And as you said before, we'll go right into it right away. We're not going to get any layoff or anything like that. So the momentum's definitely going to be in our favor.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be more built for the playoffs, I think. And it kind of shows with the Braves. The Braves don't have they almost seem to be built more for the regular season, and then when it gets to the playoffs, the bullpen hurts them when it gets to tighter games when you're pitching 5-6 innings.
I think their bullpen is similar to ours. I've seen them go for a week and they're pitching lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see them the next week and you say, what happened? I mean, today, those guys, they walked 9 or 10 guys today.
Yeah.
And I don't know how into it they are right now. Like I said, they clinched last week.
True.
So mentally, they might be a little bit somewhere else right now. But on the other hand, to have home field all the way through, Baltimore's only 2 games behind them.
Right.
So they better check it out when they wake up in the morning, that they better kick it in, because Baltimore, I think, has 95 wins, and I think Atlanta has 97. So
Yeah.
having that home field, if you get through the early rounds, is very important, I think.
Absolutely. That's for sure. But I think the Phillies have a little bit of a psychological edge knowing they can get to their bullpen. Even though they lost a couple of games when they were here in Philadelphia, but they battled back against their bullpen and pushed them to the brink.
Yeah, I don't think our team's intimidated.
No, not at all.
But we got to worry about who we're playing, because the Cubs and if those 2 teams, Arizona, they're a good young team, and they're going to be. It's not going to be an easy walk in the park beating whoever we play there.
True.
Let's talk a little bit about Trey Turner. He had a rough he had a rough start, but he certainly has acknowledged things and turned it around.
Well, he definitely, I mean, he's exactly what we signed him up for. I mean, he's been everything. You take away the first 2.5, 3 months, and I'm sure the contract, living up to that, had something to do with it. Playing meaningful games in February and the World Baseball Classic, it's hard to keep that switch on for that long. But he's made up for it. There's no question about that. He's a big part of our success moving forward. When he gets on and Schwartz leads off the game with a homer or a walk, it's a tough lineup to get through right now. One through 9 is as good as anybody. And if our pitching does anything, I have a lot of confidence in where we're going to go.
And like you said, through 9, Marsh and Rojas both,
Hey,
picking it up pretty good.
there's no easy outs down there.
No.
And I think people got a chance to see how good Rojas is. I think he's the best defensive center fielder in baseball.
Wow.
This guy's really good. I've watched him the last 3 years in the minor leagues. He's special.
Yeah, he makes it look easy.
And he's really young. He's going to hit. I know people probably want him to hit a little bit right now. He's holding his own right now offensively. But he's going to be out there for a long time.
I'm going to put you on the spot because I know you and Charlie spent an awful lot of time out in Reading, and he made the jump from AA in Reading right to Citizens Bank. How much of that did you guys have to do with that? Because I know you guys don't go there just to eat hot dogs.
Well, they ask us what we think, and we just give them our opinion. We don't make the decision. They'll say, "What do you think this guy's ready to play?" And you say, "Yeah," or "I think he's going to hold his own." I said all along, defensively, he could have broken camp with us in spring training because he's that good out in center field. And like I said, they ask us our opinion. But when push comes to shove, they make the final calls. And so when you go down there and watch, in fact, I think AA right now. I've seen AAA pitching. Pitching's not really good in AAA right now. Because if those guys were any good, they'd be in the big leagues. So I think you can make that jump from AA to the big leagues. And you're seeing a lot of that happen now in baseball.
Yep. Yeah, it was just because I see some of the other guys, the big guys for the Yankees, they just made that jump, and it seems to be the new norm, in baseball, coming right out of AA.
Well, I think a lot of these teams are going with the young guys now, especially with days off. Guys are getting now. You don't need. Although I will say this, Atlanta throws that lineup out there every day.
Right, yeah.
And you know what? To me, I like that because there's a mentality there. They expect to play every day. They don't want days off. And I think what happens in the minor leagues, not just our minor leagues, all of the minor leagues, we start giving guys rest as soon as they're in A-ball and AA, and they're going to expect that when they get to the big leagues. And you get those guys that say, "Hey, this is your job. You play out between 150, 162 games every year." And that's what your mentality should be going in. Like I said, I respect the heck out of that lineup because they post up every single day. I know our guys don't want days off, but there's certain things that happen that people above say this guy needs a day off. When you're a manager or coach, when a guy needs a day off. You don't need numbers to tell you he needs a day off. You can just talking to these guys, if they're tired mentally, physically. But the bottom line is put that lineup out there every day. I mean, we made a move today that, and I was glad Tom did that. Stott was hitting against a left-hander. He had a couple of right-handers on the bench.
Yeah.
And he could have very easily said, "You know what, I'm going to pitch it here." Stott got a big hit and ended up winning the game. So let these guys play. I think what happens is in the minor leagues, a lot of these kids that come out of college, they've hit lefties and righties. And if you're a left-hand hitter right away, as soon as you put on a uniform, he can't hit lefties. Well, you know what? How do you know he can't hit lefties? Let him play.
Exactly.
And you're going to find out that there's some guys that have good at bats against lefties as well as right-handers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lauren, you out there? There you go. Lauren has the microphone. If you guys have any questions, comments, would like to ask Larry a question. I would keep it clean. His wife is in the house, so I'll just throw that out there. So, but if you guys just flag Lauren down, and she'll be more than happy to get the mic over to you.
While Lauren was looking for a question, like you were saying about Rojas, it was pretty interesting. He went up and went to Thompson this week, earlier this week, I believe it was, and called him into his office, said, meet with you, and he's like, tell me the truth, what do I need to do to improve? Which, that's a big thing for,
This kid wants it.
Right.
He's got great work ethic. He believes he can hit anybody, which is a great sign.
Right.
He's not intimidated. The big leagues has not made his mind race 100 miles an hour. He can slow the game down. He's got big time speed, great arm, and he's going to hit. He might not be hitting right now.
Right.
When I say he's going to hit between 280 and 320.
Wow.
He's going to steal a lot of bases. He's going to run everything in the outfield down. So,
Great.
he's going to be a big plus in our
I knew you were scouting him right in. I know. All right. Little trivia time.
Little tribute? You can do that.
All right, gotta shut the phones off. No Googling.
Yeah, no Googling.
No Google. No Googling, so.
In what year was Larry inducted into the Phillies Hall of Fame?
Don't forget to raise your hand, first one to raise their hand, I'll come to you with a mic, don't just yell it out.
Wall of Fame, Phillies Wall of Fame. We got Scott Rowland going in. Oops,
Yep.
sorry, I didn't mean to bring that name up. Oops,
Well, we can talk about Scotty.
I'm good.
I think
I'm good.
I need
I'm
a
good.
hint.
All
I need
right.
a hint.
We do, we got no hands.
All right, early 1990s.
Early 1990s, Phillies Wall of Fame, Larry Boa. All right, we got a hint.
1993.
Incorrect. Not enthusing correct as well.
I got you, go ahead.
That's what she said.
91,
91? That is correct.
Yeah, 91.
That is correct.
Got another one?
Another one? All right. How many times did Larry win the Gold Glove? Right up in front here?
She walked right by you, George.
Should have won or did.
Two is correct. Good job. Although,
I said, should have won or did win.
I was just going to ask you that because that was my follow-up with you.
You know, back when we played, when they gave out gold gloves, it was, when they voted, it was like, they would look at guys' batting averages and the offensive part of it. And now, with the sabermetrics and everything, they look at the defensive thing. So probably back then it'd been good if they had the defensive things, because I probably would have won more than I actually won. So, but,
Wow. Yeah, I know. You would,
and me and Davey Concepcion had a thing going.
well, yeah, that was a little bit of a battle you guys had
Yeah,
on there as well.
Davey was a good player, really.
Yeah. And he was on the big red machine, so he kind
Yeah, they had-
of got a little bit of,
Yeah, the big red, we ran into a couple of buzzsaws in the mid-70s, the Dodgers and the big red machine.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we got 91 Phillies Wall of Fame and a two-time Gold Glove. What else? What else we got?
All right. Larry, when he retired, he had a National League record for most games played as a shortstop. How many?
That's a tough one.
I've got to play a lot.
It's over 2,000. I'll go with you there.
You didn't, I take it you didn't want any days
No, I
off.
don't, well, back then, we didn't want days off, because if you took days off, in the minor leagues, we had some good players coming up, and you didn't want anybody to say, hey, this guy's coming up behind you, so our mentality was, if you take a look at that team that we had in 80, those guys played every day, man. It was, Dick Schmitty, Manny Trio, Pete, myself, Rooney, Bull, Maddox, Bake McBride. That lineup, they wanted to go out and play every day, that's what it's supposed to be.
Anybody? Number of games played?
Nothing, not a hand.
Yeah,
You
okay.
said over 2,000, but
Under 250, 2250.
20? Over
2,000.
2,000, but under 2,250.
Yeah.
Bonnie, you want to take a stab at it? 2,221.
Very close.
Ooh.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
Like,
We're gonna go a little bit higher.
Higher than 2221.
2,225.
Oh, just under.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games played.
So between 21 and 25.
Playing
All
around
right,
that.
okay, not a hand.
All right, you're going into the war zone back there.
2,247.
No, between 21 and 25. It's gonna go to 47.
That is what they just said.
There you go, Robin.
223.
A little bit lower. There you go.
All right, everybody gets a prize.
Everybody won that one. Yeah, 2,222 games played in the first time. Very impressive.
I consider we played on that
Concrete.
runway surface at the back. People don't understand it, that wears your legs out. I don't know how the Eagles played on it. I mean, it was like playing on cement, but it was fun.
I don't know, we can check in with Michael Irvin. I know he wasn't happy.
No, he didn't like it.
He wasn't happy.
No, you guys used to put your feet in the water and go out there and driving for the next inning.
Yeah, you know what, when we played in St. Louis, we had a Sunday afternoon game, and they fried an egg on a surface before the game started. Yeah.
So you talked a lot about the 1980 team. So we're fortunate here in Philly, right? 1980, 1993, 2008.
Right.
We're talking today's team. How do you compare today's player, today's team to any of those teams?
I don't think it's fair to try to compare because, first of all, the rules are all different. The mentality is different. I mean, if you had guys playing where the pitcher, after he threw over there twice, he couldn't throw over there again, or it's a balk,
Right.
you got guys stealing 90 to 100 bases every year.
Exactly.
I mean, to me, that's a dumb rule. But putting a man on second base in the 10th inning, I'm not into that.
No. I figured you wanted me into that one.
I don't mind abandoning the shift. I mean, I think a big league hitter should be able to hit a ball, have some bat control. If they want to, I have no problem with that. I really don't. I really don't think it's helped a lot of guys not having the shift. I talked to Schwarber a little bit. He didn't think it helped him at all. So,
Yeah, he was a guy you thought.
yeah, I thought I'd get a lot of hits
Right.
with having two infielders on the side. The other rule, pitchers have to face three hitters. I don't know, you get a left-handed pitcher that his specialty was getting a left-handed hitter out, he did it.
Right.
Now he's got to face three hitters. I do like the pace of game. I like that a lot. So we didn't have that problem that day, guys. Pitchers got the ball and threw it. I remember playing against Steve Carlton. Those games were over quick.
Yeah.
Not only because he worked fast, but that teams couldn't hit him. So,
Yeah.
so most of it was designated hitter. At first I was opposed to it, but now pitchers don't hit.
No.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I kind of like that one.
You know. What else we got?
What was your thoughts the other night when Schwarber hit that bomb? What was it,
Wow.
483 feet?
Yeah,
They
he-
kept panning to Ryan Howard.
Good question. I would have liked to see, when we play, the same dimensions for Mike Schmidt
Oh, yeah.
and Greg Lizinski. you can add a whole lot more home runs because those guys hit balls a long way. And, you know, the parks are smaller, there's no question about that. Equipment's much better, that's. But it's, when people say compare, I don't think it's fair. There's some great athletes today, great athletes. I like the idea where they say nobody threw 97 or 98. A whole lot of guys threw 97 and 98.
Don't have to go on.
No line was another
You go
story.
there, sure. You go there, but all there. But yeah, like I said, it's also different too because you guys, when you play like you said, the pitchers pitched a lot.
Pitchers pitched a lot.
You know,
Pitchers' mentality, they were mean.
it drew inside.
Well, if what Acuna did at our park,
Right.
if he did that back in the day,
He was going
I
down.
don't know if I want to be in his shoes.
Right.
But you know what? It's accepted now, so let them do what they have to do.
I think Lauren has a question out here in the crowd, so.
Given how low Parker's playing first base, which is such an athlete, and given the status of options with his injury and being a free agent, what do you think are the, or what's your opinion of whether the Phillies will go after Hoskins or whether they will let him leave?
That's a good question. I think what we realized this year, we missed Reese. Reese was a very good offensive player. It all depends, I think, on Parker's situation. If he goes up and says, I want to play first base next year, then I would say Reese will be a free agent. Now, if he says, I don't want to play first base, then that will probably be a discussion with the front office as to negotiate with Reese. I do think he's going to get a 3-year contract from somebody. I know right now the Giants would love to have him. He's from out there, building a house. He lives, he's from where I am, Sacramento, California. And it's going to be interesting to see, but I really believe we missed him a lot this year.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely missed a lot. You know, you definitely missed him a lot. You know, just taking the pitches.
I was gonna say, you put him in that lineup and the way he takes pitches and everything.
Right.
I mean, it's a tough lineup now, but it would even be tough.
Yeah, it's another line
Right.
down that deeper. So yeah, he was.
That's gonna be a decision if David Dombrowski and John Middleton, they're gonna have to.
Almost the same fight as it was before.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, you know, when you sign a guy in 10 years, it's gonna be a lot, he's gonna have a lot of input into, hey, I like first base, or I'd rather play that right field. And if he wants to play the outfield, there's gonna be a log jam out there.
Yeah.
Because you got Marsh, you got Rojas, Castellanos, Schwarber. There's only 3 positions out there. So Schwarber could be your DA. Permanent, if they want to go that way. And again, put it this way, it's a good problem to have. That means we have a lot of depth. So we'll see how it plays out.
Lauren, you got another question?
We do, yeah.
First of all, the 3 of us here work in the ballpark with the game.
Okay.
So down there, every home game.
All right.
Did you watch the game tonight?
The what?
Did you watch the game tonight?
I didn't. I watched the game.
The Nick Castellanos catch. You think you should let that ball drop? I mean, I know Burke got.
I'll tell you something. Williams, who was the third, he thought he was gonna let it drop because he didn't get a good jump. But the way Castellanos caught the ball in the first pivot, it was a great play. Now, if he's safe at home, he'd be getting booed tomorrow night. But he made a great play, and he got 2 big home runs. So when it turns out good, it's a great play. If it had gone the other way, everyone would have said, that's not a good play. It was shallow enough where he got himself in position, but I really think Williams thought he's gonna let this drop, and he really wasn't ready. He tagged up, but it was like, it was a little bit late.
Lauren?
All right, so it's time for a segment called the Madness Minute. So it's basically a series of 10 questions that we have for you. Answer the first thing that comes to mind. If you have a story about one of the questions, feel free to tell it. So the first one, if you weren't going to live in the Philly area, where would you live?
If I was gonna live in the Philly
If you
area,
weren't going to live in the Philly area, where would you live?
I like out here, the main line, out the city line. I know there's a lot of traffic on 76 and 476, but, I live both places. I live in Jersey when I played, I live here. I just like a little bit better out here.
So you're not into California anymore?
You know what? Everyone thinks I'm crazy because I'm from Sacramento, and after my very first year here, I just stayed here. I still have relatives there. I like to change the seasons. I like the attitude of the fans. I like the blue collar approach. I mean, it's perfect.
He likes the Phillies pinstripes.
I like it.
At what point in your baseball life did you start switching?
That's a great question. I didn't start switching until I was in AAA. And to give you a little bit on that story, I went to spring training that year. And Bob Skinner was manager, and he called me in, he said, you made the team as a utility player, but if you want, go down to AAA, learn how to switch it, and I think you can be an everyday player. And I said, I want to be an everyday player. So I went down to AAA, and people looked at me like, you went to AAA instead of staying? But my mentality was I wanted to play every day. And it was tough trying to do something your whole life right-handed. Now they say, okay, feel like you eat soup with your spoon right-handed. And I say, put it in your left hand. It took a while, but I'm glad I did it.
During your managerial career, did you ever have any problems with the umpires?
A lot. That's the part I miss now, when you can't really argue with the umpire. Everything goes to New York. My nephew sent me it's about an 8-minute video of all the games I got kicked out of. He got it on YouTube. And I was
It's only 8 minutes.
I just shook my head, man. I was a little crazy back then.
Is there one manager, coach, or ex-player that you credit with helping you with your career the most?
Well, the guy that helped me with my career the most was my dad. But other than my dad, there's a lot of guys that helped me, but if I had to give credit to one person, I'd have to say Billy DeMars, who was our hitting coach. When I came to the big leagues, everyone said he's going to be a good fielder, he can run, he can throw, he's never going to hit. And through Billy's work and dedication with me, I got over 2,000 hits. And it was his hard work and my desire to want to keep going and keep going. But if I had to pick one guy, I'd have to say him.
Have you ever shot a hole-in-one on a golf course?
No, I would love to, though. I would love to. I had a couple of roll by the pins, but not yet.
Yes or no, does Pete Rose belong on the Hall of Fame?
Yes. What's amazing about this is, everyone talks about he gambled, which is wrong, especially when you're a manager. I know him. I guarantee you bet on his team to win, but you turn on the TV every night, in football, basketball, and they're advocating to make a bet here. What's the odds of the Phillies winning tonight? Oh, they were plus 120 going in, now they're minus. So it's very hypocritical.
Right.
You're saying he should be in, but yet you promote gambling on TV every single night.
Who has the better chance to win it all this season, the Phillies or the Eagles?
Phillies. Well, the Eagles have a good team. The Eagles have a really good team. But I think, hey, we came close last year, nobody thought we were gonna do it.
Right.
I like our chances. I'd like to see them both win.
Who was your favorite second baseman to play with on the infield?
I'll tell you what, I was really lucky to play with the second baseman I played with. I started off with Benny Doyle, I had Dave Gash, I had Ted Sizemore, I had Manny Trio. Every one of those guys were unbelievable second basemen. If I had to pick one, and the only reason I'm saying this guy is because we got the ring, is Manny Trio. But I would go to battle with any of those guys anytime.
Does John Kruk ever text you asking you to order food for him during the Phillies game?
No, he hasn't, but I see what he orders up there, so he knows I'll get on him if he asks me to order some food.
All right, and the last one. Do you got me this much challenge when I was managing?
Every night.
You'd still be mad.
I think our payroll was 50 million on that.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Harper thinking that.
He just doesn't get anything.
How about a big hand for the Madison? Does anyone remember Bill Madison and dollar bills and dollar frames over here in Drexel Hill? Card store back in the day, back in the late 80s. Come on, you're staring at me like I'm crazy. Come on, it's got to be half a dozen people. Well, he's over there, so you can go get your money back. I tell him that all the time. Anyway, again, short story, we got a gentleman in our company tonight, recently retired, 25 years in the Air Force. Give it up for George Moore, please. Thank you for your service. You're a true friend.
You know what's amazing about people that serve? If it wasn't for people like yourself, we wouldn't have been able to do what we were able to do. So I think a lot of that goes unnoticed, and people take it for granted. That servicemen and policemen and firemen are so underrated, it's unbelievable. To me, and again, I take my hat off to you guys for letting me do what I want. I appreciate it.
All right, questions, comments, anything?
There's one way back.
One back.
Way in the back.
All the way in the back, right here?
We got a couple.
We got a couple, all right, here we go, we're good on a roll.
Larry, Philadelphia fans have a reputation undeserved as boo birds. Have you ever been booed by a Philadelphia fan?
Yep, I think it's an honor sometimes.
That was my next question. Have you ever say I hate playing here or anything like that?
Did I ever say?
That you hated playing.
No, never. I love playing here. I love playing here.
You could have been booed for more than one.
You know what? I say this a lot of times in interviews. If I didn't play in Philly, I don't know if I'd play in the big leagues very long, because the fans motivate you to be ready. They want you to give 100%. And to me, that's the easiest thing to do on a baseball field. It's hard to catch it, it's hard to hit it, it's hard to pitch it. But the easiest thing to do is give effort. And if you can't give effort, then you know what? You deserve to get booed. And I don't think that's asking a lot. You know, the fans pay a lot of dollars to watch the Phillies play. They go to work at 7 in the morning, they come home at 6 at night. They're blue collar fans. They work hard for their money, and they want you to work just as hard. I don't think anything's wrong with that.
All right, we have another question back here.
Larry, you talk about all the second basemen that you played with through your career. What was it like for you to play the second base at the end of your career with the Mets?
I hated it. I only played, I think, 1 or 2 games there. You know, 3, 4, I don't know, not very many. You know, people don't understand, that's why I admire what Scott's doing this year. And you play on one side of the infield, and when you're playing short, everything's in front of you, you see it. When you're playing second, everything's coming this way, you don't see it. And I think Scott's done a tremendous job at second base this year. That's a lot harder transition to make than people think. They think, oh, move to the other side, the throw's shorter, but the footwork's different, the runner, you don't see the runner coming at you. It's different.
All right, I got another one.
And what do you think is more effective? The managers that hold their players accountable, the way you manage the Jordan to now they're called players managers, not necessarily holding them accountable. What do you think is more effective?
I think there's gotta be accountability. You know, a player's manager, I don't have any problem with it. Danny Ozark, who was ours, was a player's manager. Dallas Green held you to be accountable. I could play for either one, but I think you should be accountable. You know, it doesn't matter what you're making. Everybody's on the team together. I like the accountability. I think that, you should be accountable when you put the uniform on. But players, managers, you know, a lot of players think that, a lot of people think if a manager doesn't get on a guy, that he's a player's manager, but a lot of that stuff goes on behind closed doors. If somebody doesn't run, or they throw to the wrong base, make mental mistakes, a lot of that stuff might be taken care of behind closed doors.
Any more questions, comments?
I got a few more.
All right. Rapid fire.
I think the key to the ball was to take to the real part and go back.
Can you repeat that, Laurie?
He thinks the key to the playoffs is JT, and just Larry's thoughts on that.
The keys to the playoffs is JT. I mean, yeah, JT is he's an integral piece to our lineup, but I will say this. We have the kind of lineup that if JT doesn't hit, we're gonna be okay. We're even to the point, if just say Hart went into a little lull, we still have a good enough lineup. We have 1 through 9 that can do damage. That's what makes this team so effective. We're not just relying on 1 or 2 guys. I mean, we want them all to be hot when the playoffs start. It doesn't happen that way. So the JT's a big part of our success if we want to move forward.
All right, next one.
In 1975, you hit a 305 kick. Do you remember if you did anything different that year? That's a pretty big.
In 1975, you hit 305. Did you do anything different? Who was asking the media?
No, I don't think I did anything different. I think that's when we started getting involved in the playoffs. We started winning divisions. You know, you start playing on teams that are expecting to win. I don't know, maybe your concentration, maybe it meant where I was hitting the lineup. I think I might have been hitting second at that time, which I got the big boys coming up behind me and get better pitches to hit. Whereas the other years I might have been hitting 8 or 7 towards the bottom.
And the pitchers.
You know, sometimes it just, you have one of those years where things just slip.
Yeah.
All right, we got another one.
Yeah, Larry, who's the toughest pitcher you ever had to face?
There were a lot of them. If I had to name one, probably Bob Gibson. Not because of how great he was mean. He would hit you in a minute. He just had that scowl on his face when he was on the mound. People probably don't realize he played for the Hanrahan Brothers in the young time. That's what kind of athlete he was. But there were a lot of tough pitchers. Erwin Ryan was another guy that was Tom Seaver, a lot of them. The difference between pitching today, I said this earlier, is the attitude of pitchers back then. They weren't real nice. If they threw one up in India, they didn't go like this, like, my bad. They'd walk about 4 steps to you and say, you didn't like that? And here comes another one. And you didn't wear the armor. You didn't have all the guards. So when a guy hit you in the elbow, you felt it for 3, 4, 5 days later. I mean, I watch guys now get drilled in the elbow. They just run down the first, take off the pad. It's had to be fun. If you're gonna get hit, that's how you get hit.
Right.
All right, anyone else?
Oh, we got one up front here, Lauren.
Larry, was Tony Gwynn the best theory you've ever seen?
Tony Gwynn was real good, real good. He's right up there. Pete Rose, right up there. Those guys, I laugh at some of the so-called analytic people say those guys couldn't play now. I just say, no. They can play anytime. 20 years ahead, 20 years behind. When you can hit like that, it doesn't matter.
All right, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. You guys have done an amazing job. This is an amazing spot. Lots going on here. Check their calendar, check their schedule. Jimmy Clark does a great job here. So again, I want to thank him for allowing us. But support Hanrahan's. It's a great Delco bar. Again, if you haven't gotten your 2 free raffle tickets, come on up, grab your free raffles. If you'd like to support our charity tonight, the University of Penn Stroke Foundation, raffle tickets are $1 a piece. Come on up, you can buy as many as you like. We will draw all the raffles. I got you, Sue. You can stop shaking those cards. I got you. Stop. We will draw all the prizes around 8 o'clock. So that could be 8:15, 8:30, around 8 o'clock. But anyway, Sue, raise your hand. There you go. Come see Sue. Fill out those get well cards for Charlie. Put a little message on there. We want to see his smiling face back on Broad Street with our Phillies for Red October. Last call on questions, comments, anything?
That's another question right here. What are your thoughts on having Swallow gotten first or further than the line and get some on the honors?
What do you think about Schwarber leading off?
You know what? If it's not broke, let it go. I mean, ideally, you'd like to see him maybe hit 5th, but I like starting the game off 1-0 or getting a walk and then maybe Turner or Harvey one and it's 3-0. It's work. You know, it's work. Would we like to see hit for a higher average? Yeah, but you know what? 45 home runs,
Right.
over 100 runs scored, 100 walks. I say let it go.
I think he's like
He's done a great job.
and he's like the 4th or 5th filler to do that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It was Tony and
Sure, and Howard.
All right, we got another one?
Yep.
American, who do you think would make it to the World Series?
who's gonna make it in the World Series? Besides the Phillies? Man, you know the team that I thought, I'm still not counting them out because they have good pitching. Seattle's got real good pitching.
Yeah.
They're sort of scary right now. I guess you have to go, maybe we can have a replay. Phillies and Houston. We need to get revenge anyway. We've already beaten them once. They beat us. Now it's our turn again. But Seattle's a tough team.
Yeah, they're thinking good.
They're scary.
Talking about Houston, we got to ask you since you're here. That 1980, you know, Seattle.
That
One of the best ever, right?
was unbelievable. So every game was extra innings, except the first one. The noise in the Astrodome was, I've never been around anything like that. Because the noise couldn't get out. Beating Nolan Ryan the way we beat him after having a lead in that last game. Once we got by them, I knew that we were destined to do good in the World Series.
Yeah.
You know, we came up short those other years against good teams. We finally, you know, it was our time.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Greg Lozinski on the show, and he always says that the bunt by Greg Brooks,
Great.
was like one of the big keys to that series.
That inning that he scored all those runs off Ryan, it happened within 5 pitches. I got off the inning with a hit. Billy hit a ball back at him and went off his glove. Then Rose wanted the first pitch. Before you knew it, the bases were running.
Yeah, Greg was on the show as well, and he had mentioned when he played with Houston, he knew the turf, yeah, and he also knew that Nolan Ryan was an easier fastball for the first pitch, than easier than
Nothing easy about that.
but he knew he would be able to have a chance at
Right.
that, and it all worked out. And it was history, and he treated with the base hit.
That was an unbelievable game.
Yeah.
And then Griffin coming in, getting the last 3 outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This is the unhappy part of the show. We're gonna call it, 1 autograph per person. So I want to try to accommodate as many as possible. Larry's gracious enough to hang around for a little bit. So let's limit it to 1 per, so everybody gets a shot. I'm bringing Big Jason up to be the security guy in line. So you guys can deal with him. If you want to put money in his pocket, that's okay too. But again, I want to thank Larry Boa for coming out tonight. We can probably talk for another hour, but again, Larry Boa, Hanrahan. Not to take anything away from tonight, Charlie Manuel. God bless you, brother, and we want you back in Philly real quick.
Absolutely.
All right.